What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing on this Monday? How's it going? So, I just wanted to come on here and talk about a few things. So, I want to talk about the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card because the past couple of days, people been messaging me asking me what is a good credit card to get. And then even today, some people is asking me. So, I thought this would be a good video to do. Additionally, I got some questions on the Navy Federal Auto Loan today that I thought was really good. And, in the past, we have talked about can you have too many credit cards? And I'm going to see if I can pull up this question that I got earlier today, but I don't know if I clipped it. So I will let you know. But those are the things that I want to talk about so far. So let me know how y'all doing today. How's it going? Y'all, it's been a good day. It was nice this morning. I got to get up and go walking, but it did rain earlier and then the power went out. And I didn't even have that much time left at work, and then the lights went out, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" So that was funny, but it came back on. The power came back on, so I said that I wanted to come on here and chat with y'all for a bit. So let me know where y'all are, where y'all at. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. And if you're new to this channel, I'm Tasha with the Major Change Group. Because y'all, we up to over 7,000 subscribers. So I am so happy about it. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. But here, let me share my screen with you guys. And let me see. Let's see. All right. So today I wanted to talk about the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. So earlier today, I got a question asking me because I guess they were debating between the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card and the Navy Federal Flagship or the Navy Federal More Rewards. And see, yesterday, one of my friends, she had texted me and she was asking me. And then a few days ago, we were talking about some credit cards. And so when she asked me yesterday, I immediately, y'all, I don't even think the text came in good. And I was just like, the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Because, see, I already knew that she had the Chase Cash Rewards. But for some reason, I thought she had no, not the Chase Cash Rewards. That's not even existed. But I knew that she had the Navy Federal Cash Rewards. But for some reason, I thought she had the Navy Federal More Rewards. But when she asked me what credit card did she get, I immediately said, I think that you should get the Chase Sapphire Preferred card because I think that this card is a really good card. But then, too, because y'all already know Chase has all these rules, with the 5 and 24. And so, usually you want to have a little bit of a strategy when applying for the Chase credit cards, in my mind, because y'all know every time, except for when I had got the Chase Southwest credit card, I just got approved and it wasn't anything. But ever since then, when I applied for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, they had did not reconsider me, but they didn't deny me, but they said that I had low usage on the other credit cards. And then when I had applied for the Chase ISG, I actually got denied. And then I did a reconsider. And so, so I say for Chase, you just really want to make sure that all your ducks in a row. One, I would definitely say make sure that your credit score is good. So I know for myself, when I was applying for the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card, I made sure that my credit score was over a 700. So that was good. And then even with me having an over 700 credit score, also want to pull your credit report to see, okay, how is your overall credit profile looking? So do you have any late payments? How's your credit utilization, your length of credit, your credit inquiries? That's going to be the main thing, your credit inquiries. And yeah, so I was just like, my utilization was good, but I do have a few late payments on my credit report. But usually it doesn't stop me too much from getting approved for credit. And usually I will get approved for high limits on my credit cards. But when I had got approved for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, I did get approved for 5,000. But technically, did I really get approved for 5,000? Because they pulled 5,000 from one of my other credit cards to give me that credit limit. So that's why I say, did I really get approved? But we're going to look into the Chase Sapphire Preferred card as well. So let's see who we have in the chat. So we got Before the Billions. Before the Billions, do you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, or do you have any Chase credit cards? You know, things are going good. Y'all, I actually joined the gym the other day. Now, you know, with the Before the Billions, because I know that Before the Billions, he be up in the gym and stuff like that. And so, you know, I've been trying to get my workout in. And then plus, since it's so nice out, because y'all know I love to walk. And so last year I probably walked maybe for 6 months straight, 6 or 7 months straight. And I had did maybe almost, I was like right at 100 days where I was going to get 10,000 steps for 100 days. And then I missed like one day. I was so mad. So yeah. We got Trey in the house. What's up, Trey? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. And Before the Billion says, no, I do not have the Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card. So that's great. So we will look into this. And yeah, so let's take a look at this. Hold on. Let me share my screen with y'all. Let me see. Y'all know I'll be messing up sometime when I try to share the screen. Let me see. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay. So we got the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. And I would say another good reason of getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred card is because it has the 80,000 bonus points on here. And so I think that's good. Let's see. All right. So right now you can get 80,000 bonus points if you spend $4,000 on purchases in 3 months. And that's really going to be equivalent to $1,000 when you redeem those in the Chase Unlimited Rewards portal. And I will say that for Chase, I really love their portal. It is really, it's really good. It's very user friendly. And plus, they have this section to where you can pull your credit reports and you can look at your utilization and things like that. And so I really like the portal. So right now, how you can earn, so you can earn $50 in a statement credit every anniversary year for hotel stays purchased through the Chase Unlimited Rewards. And I think that's good because I did get my $50 one year, so that's really good. Also, you can earn 5 times the points for travel purchased through the Chase Unlimited Reward, excluding hotel purchase that qualify for the $50 annual unlimited reward hotel credit. You get 2 times the points for all other travel, 3 times the points for dining, including this is going to be eligible delivery services, takeout, and dining. So I think that that's good. And you also get 3 times the points for online groceries purchased through, well, excluding Walmart, Target, and wholesale. You get 3 times the points for select streaming services, and then you get 1 times the points on everything else. Also, you can get 25% more value when redeeming for travel. So that's why, with this being the 80,000 bonus points, which is really $800, technically it'll be 1,000. So that's why I think that it's really good. And then let's look at some of the additional benefits. So on the My Chase plan, it says eligible card holders can break up card purchases of more than 100 for a more fixed monthly payment with Chase. No interest, just a fixed monthly fee. Now, especially for myself, I definitely always say that when we are making credit card purchases, it's probably best to only make purchases for what we can pay for, because I want to say that the interest rate is 20.74% all the way up to 26.74. And I believe that my interest rate, I think it might be 26% if I'm not making a mistake. So I make sure to always pay this credit card off every month. There's also a $95 annual fee. And that's why I really like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, because with this being a travel credit card, I feel like you get a lot of perks with you only having a $95 annual fee. And so that's why I like it. And so here are some of the additional benefits. And so this is what I was telling my friend, because you get the you can transfer your points. And so, like let's say with the IHG, the Marriott Bonvoy, and then the World of Hyatt, like the Marriott Bonvoy is my favorite. And then I do like IHG as well. I have the IHG Traveler. I did have the IHG Premier, and I believe they still have 160,000 bonus points on that one. Also, additional travel partners are especially my favorite. That's going to be Southwest, and then Emirates. I liked Emirates; they were good. And then you have JetBlue, and so you have some good airlines on here as well. So I think that is good because it's a one-to-one value. And when you go into the portal as well, it is really easy to purchase travel, like hotels and flights. And even if, because one time this was last year, because I've been saving all of my points for travel, and because I've been telling y'all that I want to go to Puerto Rico using all my points. So I have enough for probably maybe like 7 days, I think. And so I had booked it. So I had booked the trip. And so I was going to do a solo trip to Puerto Rico. This was in December. So I had booked the hotel and the flight through the portal, through the Chase portal. And it was so easy. And then maybe like a couple of days later, I changed my mind. So I canceled it. And it was so easy to cancel it. And my points went back and everything. So yes. Let's see. What did Before the Billion say? So Before the Billion says we got to get this workout in together. When you get are you now, you live in Georgia? I'm in Nashville, but whenever you're in Nashville, we gotta get a workout in or go out to lunch or something like that. Let's see. And we got D from Sledge Inc. He said your boy just got the IHG business card. Y'all definitely have to go over to D's channel because he has some really good content and he has good shorts on his channel as well. So y'all go over there because I know that he probably has a video out about it, or he's going to be getting some video. And then really, if y'all really want to learn the game, especially with American Express, you have to check out his channel because he really he has a lot of good info to tell us. All right, so let's see. Okay, so additionally they have because this is the travel cancellation and interruption insurance. So if you cancel your trip or cut short by sickness, severe weather, or other covered situations, you can be reimbursed up to $10,000 per person or $20,000 per trip. Also, you get auto collision when you rent a car. And so y'all know when I had rented the Tesla with Hertz, I had used my Chase Sapphire Preferred card, and so I did not get the insurance through Hertz, and then I had the insurance through my Chase Sapphire Preferred card, so that was really good. Also, they have the baggage claim delay insurance. They have the trip delay reimbursement. They have travel and emergency assistance. They have the purchase protection, so covers new purchases for up to 120 days against damage or theft, up to 500 per claim and 50,000 per account. And then they have extended warranties as well. Let's see. This is a really good thing because they have no foreign transaction fees when you go international. So that's good because you definitely don't want all of those additional fees on there. Let's see. Yes. So I think, in this instance where I was asked today, debating between getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred card or the Navy Federal flagship or the Navy Federal More Rewards card. What are your thoughts and your opinions? And see, this is the thing, because you see right here where I said, hey there, I would get the Chase Sapphire Preferred currently, only because they have the 80,000 bonus points when normally it's about 60,000. But you know what's so crazy is that I believe around this time last year, they had the 80,000 bonus points. But I know when I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, they had 100,000 bonus points. So I was pretty glad to go ahead and get it, although I had only got approved for 1,000. But then I said that the only reason I'm saying to go ahead and get the Chase Sapphire Preferred card over one of the Navy Federal cards is because, one, with this offer being so good, I would not not get it because it's been over a year since they had a really good offer, if I can remember correctly. And then, with Navy Federal, I feel like you can pretty much always maybe apply for one of those cards. And then the offers are not always, they kind of differ. So I would have to go onto the site to see what the offers are right now. But with Chase, I feel like they have a little bit more rules because, they got the 5 and 24. And so I would just have a little bit more of a strategy if I was considering applying for one of the Chase credit cards. So that's why I said, even though usually if somebody is a member of Navy Federal and they ask me, because my sister asked me recently, because she doesn't have any of the credit cards, which one should she get? I'm always going to say the Navy Federal More Rewards. I would say the Navy Federal More Rewards because it's an everyday card. But in this instance, and that's why I said currently today, if I was applying for one, I would apply for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card because it's a really good travel card. So yeah, so you guys will have to let me know what you think, but I would say I've had the Chase Sapphire Preferred card since 2021, if I'm not making a mistake, and I really like it. I love the Chase portal so I can check my credit. And then I really like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. I think it's in my purse, so I don't have it with me right now. But it's a Visa, so it's pretty much, it's accepted everywhere compared to, sometimes with the American Express. Because I went somewhere the other day and they didn't take American Express, so I was so glad that I had my Chase Sapphire Preferred card. So yeah, so I definitely would get that one if you are looking for a good travel credit card that doesn't have a high annual fee. And so that's why I like that one. Okay, so next, I wanted to discuss. So I got this question yesterday, and it was is it possible to be denied for unsecured credit if you have too much credit? And because I was thinking, I had asked you guys, can you have too much credit? And it's just like, on the one hand, no, I don't think you can really have too much credit. But I said, I really don't think that you would be denied, but I think that it has to be a reason. And so that's why I would say, that's why I always state, before you open up a credit card, it will really be good to check your credit profile to see how is your payment history, how is your credit utilization. And I would say your credit utilization is probably the most important. And then your length of credit, and then your inquiries. I would say, yeah, your credit utilization and your inquiries. I would say those two I would check before I apply for credit, because one, if a creditor does see you apply for credit, a lot of credit around the same time, then sometimes you could be denied. But I feel like you won't, because even for myself, I've been able to do a reconsideration. You see what I'm saying? So I still think that you'll be approved. And with your credit utilization, I would say if you have high credit utilization, then I would say that's the reason that you would get denied. Now, he did state that he has 22 credit cards, but I want to say that he really only used maybe one or two of the credit cards. And I think that his highest credit card was maybe 4,100. So then I was kind of thinking, but I didn't put it in when I was responding in the comments. You know, if you have 22 credit cards, and let's say you have, like if you have one credit card that has 5,000, but then you have let's say 15 credit cards that probably has 5,000 broken down into the 15 credit cards, would you close one of those credit cards? And that's what I really wanted to get into, because if you're only using the one credit card, then I think I would maybe suggest closing some of those other credit cards. Now, on the one hand, I'm usually, well, it's like, I'm not, I'll close a credit card because I've closed a couple credit cards. I've closed a credit card and I've downgraded a credit card if I didn't want it. But it has to be a credit card that maybe was less than 2 or 3 years old, not a credit card that had a high length of credit. But on the same hand, if it's a credit card that only has a $500 credit limit and you're not using it, and then let's say maybe it's a Zales, or maybe if it's a store credit card or something like that, or even if it's one of the other credit cards, I don't know, I maybe would consider it. And so I am going to do another video on that. And the thing is, it is definitely possible that your credit score will go down. But see, here is where, if it really depends on where your credit score is. Now, if you're at a 600, then I don't know that I would tell you to close it. But if it's maybe like mid 600s to 700s, because yes, your credit score is going to go down, but in a couple of months, it will go back up. And so, because it'll take time for your length of credit to average back out. And so I definitely feel like if I had credit cards, if I had one credit card that had a high limit, and then 20 credit cards that, had a lot of little limits, I think I would probably close one. So I'm going to do a little bit deeper dive in that in another video, but let me know in the comments, what do you think? But see, D, you don't have to come up here one time. So D says never too much credit. But see, this is the question. I don't think it's never too much credit, because see, it's not about the credit to me in this instance. I think really what it is that he has 22 credit cards, and one credit card has over 4,000, and that's the only credit card that he uses. And then I'm assuming that the other credit cards have low limits. So he didn't give me all of the information, but he was just saying that he has 22 credit cards. And is it possible to be denied for unsecured if you have too much unsecured credit? So I'm like I don't think it's ever too much credit. but I feel like it has to be a reason that you're denied. So that's why I'm always going to look at the utilization, and then are you applying for a lot of credit cards around the same time? Because if you have high utilization and then you're applying for credit cards, a lot of credit cards around the same time, then possibly you'll be denied because they think that you're just trying to get more credit. So if you have, so that's why I'm thinking if he's only using one of the 22 credit cards that has the high limit of 4,000, then if he has 20 credit cards that only have like 500, in my mind, I think I would, that's just me. But I'm going to research it a little bit more because, too, you know how the credit card companies, and then that's what I did put in there. You know how the credit card companies can mirror the other credit cards. So it's like if he's only getting approved for, very low limits, then I think I would maybe close it. But it would all depend on what my credit score is. So that's why I'm going to do a little bit of a deeper dive. And I didn't really go into that part that much. So, yes. So let's see. Okay. So the next question is, on the, hold on. All right. So the next question is on the Navy Federal Auto Loan. And I want to give a shout out to my sister because my sister, she just got a car and she got it through Navy Federal. And so I know like when she had applied for the Navy Federal Auto Loan the first time, so this is the second time she has applied, but the first time she was only with them for maybe like she had became a member of Navy Federal, and then the same day she had applied for the auto loan, but then she ended up not finding a car, so she didn't get a car. So that was maybe like a year or two ago. And so now she was going to get a new car, and so she got her check through Navy Federal. And see what was so good, they had even gave her more than she requested, and she said that they didn't require her to submit any documents, because the first time that she applied she had to supply a lot of documents. But now that she's been a member for probably, I don't know, 2 years now, I don't know, but I know that I don't think that she really deposits money in her account, but she does have a CD with them. So her internal score is probably a lot better, and plus she's been with them more than a day or a few hours. So the question was, currently I got approved for $32K at 6% for 60 months. If I go through with it and get the check from Navy Federal, could I just go to the dealership and negotiate the price of the car and then give them the check when the financing come? Well, and so what I was stating with this question is, one, and see, this is like, because this right here, this is like the most common question that I get when it comes to Navy Federal and the auto loan. So the only thing, because he says currently I got approved for $32K, but then he says if I go through with it and get my check from Navy Federal. So that's the only part that, I'm not for sure of. So if he got approved for the $32K, on the one hand, you don't have to use the check. You see what I'm saying? Like if you get to the dealership and they just talk you into the most amazing deal and your interest rate is going to be so low, then on the one hand, you don't have to use the check. But how I see it is that most of the time, I think that Navy Federal, their interest rate is going to be a lot lower than the dealership. That's just me. I can't necessarily prove it 100%, but unless they have, I don't know, they would have to, unless they have like 2% or 3%, because right now I want to say for 36 months or less, the interest rate is 4.24 with Navy Federal, if I'm not making a mistake. So unless they can get lower than that, then if I was to get a car today, I would get approved through Navy Federal and get the check. Now, once you go to the dealership and you have the check, I would never let them run my credit, because that's the whole point, because you got your credit ran through Navy Federal. And so that's like the most common question. But I know for myself, when I went to the dealership, I didn't tell them that I had to check right away. Basically, I just looked at some cars, then I test drove some cars. And it wasn't until I test drove a car and then we were coming back into the dealership and I let the man know, my dealer, that I have a check with Navy Federal. Well, I just said I have a check. I have my own financing, so I will not be doing financing. So do not allow them to run your credit, because he says, could I go to the dealership, negotiate on the price of the car, give them the check when financing comes along, and request not to pull my credit? So, yeah, so basically, once I was kind of narrowing it down to a few cars, I would let the dealer know that you have your own financing. That way, he's not going to get in his head that they're going to be running your credit. So I think that's the main thing. Do not let the dealership run your credit, unless, because he says, if he goes through with the check with Navy Federal. Because once you get the check with Navy Federal, on the one hand, you don't have to use it. But I would say, if you went through that much trouble, then I would go ahead and use it. So I would do, so like how I did it, I did my research kind of on the front end. So I did my research on the front end and say, okay, what kind of car did I want? How much, how around the price? Because when you call Navy Federal, that's the first thing that they're going to ask you. How much do you want your check for? How many months? Do you want gap insurance? And I don't know if it was on this one, or I don't know if he came back, or maybe somebody else asked me a question, but somebody did ask me about a trade-in. So I know for myself, and I think that that's the good thing about Navy Federal. Originally, I had a car, but I didn't tell them that I was gonna, because in my mind, I didn't think I was gonna do a trade-in, because I still owed $3,000 on it. So I wasn't gonna do a trade-in, and I was gonna get a used car. But then by the time I was going and looking at cars and things like that, I ended up getting a new car, and then I ended up doing a trade-in, because when I was at the dealership and I was kind of eavesdropping because this man, so my dealer, I guess he was helping this other man too. And so they had came in and he was saying, well, I got this car, but it's not running and all this kind of stuff. And then the dealer was like, well, yeah, as long as you can get in here or something like that, we'll figure it out. I was like, okay. So then I said, well, let me. So then that's when I told them that I had a trade-in. So the whole point is, really, there's really nothing different when you get your check from Navy Federal. It's really just going to be at the financing part, because see, the thing is, you're just gonna want to negotiate as much as you can. And then after you negotiate, then, once you go to the accounting and things like that, then that's where you will give them the check, and then they'll call Navy Federal and all of that. So, even if you call Navy Federal and you do the pre-approved process and you say, okay, I'm going to get a used car, I'm not going to do a trade-in and things like that, you still can do those things, because I did it. So once I got there, I negotiated it, and then I was able to do a trade-in on my car. And then even once you get the check, if your check is for, in this instance, for 32,000, that's just your budget. So your budget is 32,000. And as long as you don't go over, you can't go over the 32,000, because on the check it says do not exceed 32,000, and you usually have between 60 and 90 days to be able to use the check. And so as long as you don't go over the 32K, then you're fine. So, if you find something and it's a little bit, if you can negotiate it down to 30K, or if you can negotiate it down to 27K, then your loan will only be for 27K if that was your final negotiation. And then, once they add taxes and all that kind of stuff on there, then your final loan will be for the 27K. And so then when they call Navy Federal, that'll be how much your loan amount will be, even though you got the check for 32K. So yes. So, but I think I might do like a follow-up video on that, because with the Navy Federal Auto loans, I definitely get a lot of questions about, one, can you make sure to request to not pull your credit? Yes, most definitely. Do not let them run your credit. And then two, if you get your check for 32K and you only spend 27K, then your loan is going to be for 27K. If you find a car that is 40K and you only got the check for 32K, then you would just have to call Navy Federal up, and it's possible that you might have to do another loan. They might have to do some more pre-approvals for it. So, but they do state that if you find something a little bit over, just to give them a call. But if you find something under, then you're good. Then you still could just give the dealer their check. So, yeah. Yep. But yeah, my sister, she just got a car. So she still got a Hyundai, and I have a Hyundai. So I have the Hyundai Tucson, and she has the Hyundai Santa Fe. And I'm just like, but she lives upstate New York. So I haven't been able to ride in hers. But see, the good thing is going to different dealerships, because like when she went to the first dealership, like they really wasn't trying to negotiate with her too much. But then when she went to the second dealership, they really negotiated with her, and she was able to get what she wanted. And so that's a good thing. And that's why I really like getting a check from Navy Federal, because to me, I just feel like you have so much more. To me, I just feel like you have so much more, like, okay, if you don't want to negotiate with, this is what I want. So that's why I always say, know how much you want your car for. Because like for me, I had got my check for 20,000, and I did not want to go over 20,000 because y'all, it was so funny, because like my dad, he was just like, I should have got that check for more. But I was like, why do I need to get the check for more if I don't want? Because I did not want my loan to be over 20,000. Like I really wanted my loan to be less than 20,000. And so, so I was able to negotiate it right there. And but my sister, her car, so it's nice. Like she got a sunroof, and then it has the assisted where it'll back in and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm just like, man, that is so cool. And she has leather seats, because I don't have leather seats, and I don't have a sunroof either. But I love my car because I have, where the seats are warm. So I think everything else is pretty good, except for, but I think even her steering wheel heats, but my steering wheel doesn't heat. But I still really like it though. But I said the next time I get a car, I probably will make sure that I have leather seats. So, yep. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on and talk about those three things. So today we talked about, so I had got this question asking me, should I get I'm debating between the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Navy Federal Flagship, or the Navy Federal More Rewards. And so I was just saying, like right now, with Chase having the 80K on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I would say, because this is probably not going to last too much more longer, to where you could get the 80,000 bonus points, and pretty much that's going to be over, that's equivalent to $1,000. So you'll get 25% more value when you redeem your points for travel. And so that's what I like. And then additionally, we talked about, can you have too many credit cards? And I don't, well, it's just like, on the one hand, I don't think that you can have too many credit cards, but I don't know that I would want to have 22 credit cards and then I have one credit card that has a really high limit and then all of the others have a low limit. And so I said that I was going to do a little bit more research to possibly, I would maybe consider closing some of those other credit cards. And yes, it's possible that your credit score can dip down. So I was saying that I would probably wait until my credit score is probably over, I would say the high 680, 90s to 700s. I probably would wait to 700 because I don't want my credit score to be under a 700. And then last, we were talking about the Navy Federal Auto Loan, just making sure not to let the dealer run your credit. And I want to say hello to Kamar. What's up, Kamar? How are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you are doing good. Yes, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is better right now. I definitely think so. So yes, I would suggest to get the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. So yes. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. But then also, let me know in the comments if there's any content that you want to talk about. Are you guys doing any traveling here soon? What's going on? Y'all getting out, y'all doing your steps, getting some sun. It's been, even though it was nice here today, it did rain. So I didn't get to do any walking when I got off. And then I was trying to get ready right quick to come on the live. So I didn't get to do any steps, but it's 8:45. So it's going to be too late for me to walk because it's pretty much dark outside now. But I can pretty much walk to like 8, maybe like 8:15. So, yep. But alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live, but I appreciate all of you guys for coming through. So before the billions, Trey, we had D from Sledge Inc. And then we had Kamar coming through at the very end. So I definitely appreciate you guys for joining. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Thanks so much for watching.